Turn up the AC. Hot takes.
Lights, camera, and action is large. Eagles get flattened. The lord to this debate what y'all hate and get irate. We rate and irritate. Your game is on my plate. The fans anticipate. Of course, we give them great.
Gonna turn up the AC. Got the temperature raising. The latest, hottest takes. No bias for ratings. We coming with straight heat. That's why it's amazing. Go ahead and share the link if you feeling what they think.
Pulling daggers like KD. Launching missiles like Brady. Hot takes on the daily. Outcome is amazing.
Only kick with the IC. Analytics unlikely. No matter what they speak, hot takes, turn up AC. Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with me, Reason, and Charlie Gray. All social media information will be posted in the description below. We ask that you please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe while you're at it so you can be notified when the latest content is available. So today we're going to be getting to, since the great Manu Ginobili has retired recently, we're going to get into who's the greatest sixth man of all time. Charlie Gray, what's up, man?
What's good with it?
So the greatest sixth man. The reason why we're talking about that is because, like as I mentioned, Manu Ginobili just retired. 4-time NBA champion.
Okay.
Olympic gold medalist. You know what I'm saying? He got a gold medal over Team USA.
You do?
You know, he just retired. He's been a sixth man pretty much his whole career.
Okay.
And voluntarily.
Okay.
And since he's retired, he's in the conversation. So now we're going to say, who is the greatest sixth man of all time? Since his career is complete, now we can look at it as a whole and judge it against anybody else.
Okay.
So what are your first thoughts when you hear about this?
When I hear Manu Ginobili being in talks of greatest sixth man of all time, I get it. As being a Laker fan, we battled you a lot, you know.
We've seen you a lot.
We've seen you a lot, man. So I know how good you are.
We respect it.
Yeah, I respect you. But I can't put you in the talks of being the greatest sixth man. I've seen better. Now, you might be the longest dude I've seen be sixth man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But to me, traditionally, sixth man is like somebody who used to be a star, and then they accept a lesser role on the team and thrive off that. That's usually what a sixth man is. You know, that's usually how it happens.
Isn't that pretty much what Ginobili did? Because I thought
did he start?
I thought he accepted being a lesser role.
Yeah, I just don't feel like he ever started though, and I don't feel like he ever was like a star. He just was. He came in and he was what he was. His whole career, he was that.
I beg to differ. I think Manu Ginobili is one of the greatest. First of all, he's top 2 probably international players right now of all time.
Top 2? I don't know.
Dirk Nowitzki's number 1.
I
take that back. He's not top 2 because you got to remember Arvydas Sabonis.
I was just about to throw that name at you. Good looking.
Yeah, so you got to remember
good you, man, because I was about to throw him at you.
Ginobili's in the top 5. I take that back.
There you go.
Top 5.
There you go.
Of international players.
That sounds more.
Because I had to think real quick.
Yeah.
There's a couple players.
Paul Gasol.
It's gonna be. Yeah, I would give Paul Gasol the edge because he was. Yeah, he was the second best player on the championship team, on back-to-back championships.
For sure,
and 3 in a row.
Player.
Yeah,
he was the second best player for sure.
And he was, without him, there's no rings.
Yeah.
So okay. Okay. So I can see maybe Ginobili talking about number 4. That's where you start bringing him in.
Then you get Tony Parker. Come on, man. He on the same team as him.
For international players, I'm talking about.
Tony Parker, international?
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, because I'm not saying Ginobili's number 4 or 6 man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Because Ginobili, to me, I think he's number 1, 6 man of all time.
Ooh.
Now that I think about it and I look at the people who there is, the longevity, his career, he's been playing for a long time.
Ooh.
He's got 4 rings.
Ooh.
And he's got a gold medal. He beat a team with LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Tim Duncan. Who else was on that team? Richard Jefferson. I want to get everybody to the shine who lost that year. You know, if I'm not mistaken, Allen Iverson was on the team. Stephon Marbury. You know what I'm saying? Like he beat that team.
Yeah.
You know, he has a gold medal to show for it, and he
Yeah.
got 4 rings. And I think he played huge parts in all those rings. As much as I mean, we've seen him play multiple times in the playoffs, Lakers and Spurs. So we know who Ginobili is. We know what he brings to the table, and I think he's the best six man of all time. I mean, most people who have seen him play will say Havlicek. I never seen him play, so I can't really say he was better than Ginobili or not. So from what I've seen, Ginobili is the greatest six man of all time.
I I don't know, cause how many great seasons has Ginobili really had? I'm not saying he's not a great player, but and I really do hate to go statistical.
He took over games, though. I mean, he took
I
over
feel you. I feel you.
in the finals
I
too
feel you.
against LeBron James
I
and
feel you.
Miami.
And I could throw another name of somebody out there who took over games.
Look, and then he blocked James Harden's three.
Good job. But I could name somebody else who took over games. Robert Ory, man.
Okay, so that is that who you think, or you're just naming somebody else?
That's hard to say, man. That's hard to say because there's a lot of people out there who I think are better six men than Manu Ginobili.
So then, who do you think is number one? Hot takes.
I mean, now that I am on the spot, since I already threw the name out there, Robert Ory.
And you know that's
This Big Shot Bob we talking about. He helped you win rings, Manu. Without him, you wouldn't have those rings. So,
here's I completely understand the argument for Robert Ory. I completely understand it, but here's why I'm gonna say it's Ginobili. Robert Ory wasn't a career six man.
to me, he was. In my eyes, he was. He wasn't the number one, number two, number three. He wasn't. He wasn't that. He wasn't that on no team that he
But
was on.
he wasn't, his.
So you low key is in that era of the NBA. You low key was a six man.
I would say Robert Ory was more of a role player than a six man. Like to me there's a difference. Ginobili was the first man off the bench for San Antonio, pretty much for his whole career. That's a six man. Robert Ory wasn't always that. There were players in front of him in rotation. You know what I mean?
I don't
No
know.
disrespect to Robert Ory, but you know what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's Ginobili.
I mean, we playing a pickup game, and I gotta pick somebody to be on my team. If you take away Robert Ory, I might still pick somebody else.
Okay.
I might pick Iggy. I might pick Lou Williams. You know what I'm saying? I might pick Jamal Crawford. Jamal
No,
Crawford.
and don't get me wrong. Look,
He
and
won multiple. He won
even
multiple six man.
and even Jason Terry. You know what I mean? He won six man too. Like they're great players. Tony Kukoc. They're great players.
Jamal Crawford won multiple
Michael Cooper.
on different teams.
Yes, and I get it.
On different teams.
And I get that.
He ain't just do it with this one organization. He went somewhere else
But
and
they
still
weren't.
was
But they weren't like.
most valuable player
And
off the bench.
okay. And then now here, when it comes to players like that, here's the why
They never won.
Ginobili wins. Yes, championships.
Yeah, they never won. I
You
hear
know,
you
championships
with that.
matter.
I hear you with that.
Yeah,
But hey,
and
sometimes dudes chase money and they put themselves in
That's
situations
true.
where
Yeah,
they can't
yeah,
win. I can't fault them for that. Like if it was I feel like if Jamal Crawford could go back in time, he'd try to get on the Lakers. For real.
yeah. I would have loved to have him on the Lakers.
Yeah, back up for Kobe, man.
In his
back
prime,
up,
it would
back
have
up
been
scoring
great.
for Kobe.
It would have been great to have him when he was younger.
And then you telling me he ain't gonna
Man.
be six man of the year
Oh yeah,
all time?
then that changes everything.
It changes everything.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Because he's on a better team.
But that's not what happened though.
It ain't what
Ginobili
happened.
has the 4 rings, the gold medal to show for it as well.
It ain't what happened. But
And look, Ginobili created basically like the little Euro.
Hey, Jamal Crawford's
You
still
know,
a free agent though. He
He
got a
is.
chance.
He is.
Lakers, we freed up a roster spot.
Hey, could work.
What you think about that?
With Jamal Crawford,
All right, here.
I
I'm
wouldn't
I'm
mind
gonna ask you a
yeah.
better question. I'm gonna ask you a better question. Would you take Ginobili to fill up that roster spot if he was willing to play?
Not old Ginobili.
No, this Ginobili right now.
He retired though.
Ain't
He's
he
not.
like the same age as Jamal though.
See, I don't know. I don't know.
Jamal like 40,
I would have to
man.
see. Like, is he gonna play a lot of minutes?
Jamal like 40, six man. You gonna play 6-man minutes?
But we have better players for the Lakers
But
that are already there. Because
But
I don't know. That's tough to say.
But he the greatest.
He is, though. In his prime, I'd take him in a heartbeat over Jamal Crawford.
In his
prime, in a heartbeat.
Winning multiple six-man awards
I would
on
take,
different
because
teams.
I know Ginobili, when the game's on the line, he comes through pretty much all the time.
See, I'm thinking I already got somebody. I don't need you, Ginobili. That's what's wrong with the Tim Duncan argument. He needed them other dudes to shine.
Yes, and that's why he's not the greatest of that generation.
Man.
It's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he needed them other dudes
Number
to shine.
2 to me is Tim Duncan after Kobe Bryant during that generation.
Yeah.
But he's not number 1.
Yeah, he ain't number 1.
So yeah, we got another thing we're gonna be talking about today. It's a little bit on the same subject of six man, greatest role player. So they're not this. Obviously, the role player is not the sixth man, not the first person off the bench. There's someone who comes in, maybe the second or third off the bench. Maybe he's not even expected to play that night, But who is that greatest role player? So, do you have anybody you like to mention about who you think is a great role player? Or do you want to get right to the point? Who do you think is the greatest role player of all time?
Role player. That's hard, man. That's hard. That's a real tough one.
See, now this one, I think this is the easiest argument ever.
Easy?
Because it's Robert Horry.
Because when you say role player,
but then you can also mention Derek Fisher.
I think of the multitude of roles you can play. You can play a lot of different roles.
And Robert Horry did that. And then he was always the big shot maker too. Yeah. When the stars weren't there, he hit the shots. The stars trusted him to hit the shot, as a good role player is supposed to do. You're supposed to let the stars trust you, and he did that every time. 7 championships
for a career. I would say Robert Horry, because he did it. He did
it everywhere.
Can't argue with that 7.
And he did it everywhere. Yeah, he got 2 championships with the Rockets. He got 3 with the Lakers, and he got 2 more with San Antonio. That don't happen by accident.
Yeah.
And if you look at all the highlights from every single year, he hit big shots in every single run.
Yeah. Super big ones for us.
Huge. King shots, game 4. That's the biggest one people remember, because that was a huge comeback. And that's why I think this is the easiest argument there ever was. I just want, Robert Horry, he is.
I mean, but there's so many, man.
But the championships kind of shut that down.
It do. But there's still
he did it in the finals, game 7.
Playoffs.
Yeah, he did it at any time. He was Mr. Big Shot. If there's a Hall of Fame for big shots, for being clutch, he's in there before damn near anybody.
Yeah.
If not anybody.
Because sometimes the finals don't live up to what it's supposed to be. Sometimes in playoffs is way better than what the finals is.
Yeah, and you can always count on Robert Horry to be there.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sacramento.
He had big shots against Portland. He had big shots against San Antonio. Everybody.
Yeah. And us. Us too.
He did.
He hit some against us.
He did it on the other side, yeah. A couple times from other teams as well. Yeah, so I think Robert Horry is the greatest role player of all time.
I can't argue that, man. But there's a couple other ones I would probably throw out there. Like I feel like someone who is a little underrated as a role player, Alonzo Mourning, for the Heat.
You don't think people will say he's considered like a star player?
He wasn't a star. He wasn't a star then. This man coming off I think he had heart surgery or something like that.
Oh, later in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a different. I mean, I can understand why you would say that.
Role player.
Later in his career, he was a role player.
Role player. He played at least 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? After having that heart surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was all role player.
And he was able to get a ring.
And he got a ring.
I was happy to see him get a ring.
I was happy too. And he really contributed to that ring. It wasn't like he just rode
anybody's coattails, yeah.
Like he John Sally or somebody like that.
Even Shaq could tell you he had as much to do with that championship as anybody else, because he kept the locker room in check. He was one of those guys who was working every day. He was trying to make you get better every day too.
He protected the rim.
And you knew he was going to do that. So, yeah, I can understand the argument for him. But I'm gonna go with like I said, I'm gonna go with Robert Ory. I wanted to say he's the greatest role player, and without him, like Kobe don't have 5 chips. Shaq don't three-peat with with that team. He don't get 3 straight Finals MVPs.
I mean, if he ain't there to hit that shot in Sacramento, hell no. Kobe
Yeah,
ain't
there's
actually got the
no.
rings.
Yeah, man. So.
Ooh, that one for sure. That little tap out. If you ain't never seen it, look it up. That little tap out and Robert Horry hit that 3.
0-2, Game 4.
What did he tell the reporter? We was talking about that the other day.
What did he tell him?
What did he say? You better read the newspaper or something.
Yeah. When Vlade Divac said that was a lucky shot, he said, oh, you better read the paper or something.
Yeah,
I've been doing that my whole career.
Read the paper. Show you how times change.
Let's show you the timing on that one. He said, better read the paper. He wasn't talking about Google Me. That was before Google. That was before all that.
Way before that.
Man, some of y'all ain't even old enough to know that.
Yeah, they like paper. What
but
paper?
Yeah, that just shows you that how we've come in time. But that's pretty funny. You better read the paper or something. I've been doing that my whole career.
Man, you better read the paper.
Yeah, so we wanted to touch on a couple topics here on a hot take. So we're gonna end it at that. I personally think Manu Ginobili is the greatest 6-man of all time. Who would you say is number 1 if you're on the spot? Who you got to say?
6-man?
Yeah,
I told you Robert Horry, man.
Robert Horry. Boom. Second topic we talked about role players. I think that's the greatest role player of all time, Robert Horry. It's a different topic, different conversation. Greatest role player. You agree?
I agree.
Boom. So yeah, there you have it. Hot takes. Reason. Charlie Gray. Turn up the AC. Until next time, we are out.
You could make that shot. That's last shot. It's just like lucky shot. That's all. You don't need to have a skills or some. In that kind of situation, you just throw it and if it goes in, goes in.
Robert, Vlade was saying that it was basically just a luck shot. That situation, you just have to throw it up. Was it luck or was there more to it?
It wasn't no luck shot. I've been doing that for all my career, so he should know. He better read a paper or something.